Have you ever felt like you have too much stuff, too much pressure to keep up? We live in a world where everything is shouting at us to buy. Ads, algorithms, influencers, it's all designed to keep us in a constant state of adding to cart. But what if I told you that having less could actually give you more? More peace, more clarity, more time, less stress, less burnout, and less financial anxiety. Because here's the thing, we don't just have a clutter problem, we have a consumption problem. And it's quietly wrecking our homes, our happiness, our bank accounts, and our planet. Picture this: 140 massive warehouses spread across 25 states, each one a monument to our collective excess. Inside, row after row of giant blue bins stretch across the concrete floor like a conveyor belt of consumerism. These bins, industrial sized, open air dumpsters, are overflowing with the cast offs of our overconsumption. Fast fashion, forgotten toys, untouched kitchen gadgets, and last month's viral must haves. Donated items piled high, waiting for a second chance, or more often, a one-way trip to the landfill. When we donate our no longer needed items, we like to believe that we're doing the right thing, giving our unwanted items a second life. But studies show that across major donation centers in the US, up to 70% of donated goods never even make it to a retail shelf. Instead, they're either sent to landfills or shipped overseas, overwhelming vulnerable communities and fragile ecosystems far from home. There's no magic fairy who makes your unwanted stuff disappear. Once an item, any item, is manufactured, shipped, sold, worn, or used, then tossed, it doesn't just disappear. Remember our friend Isaac Newton's idea: for every action, there is a reaction. We're talking about 92 million tons of textile waste every year. That's one garbage full truck, garbage truck full of clothes dumped into a landfill every second of every day. The fashion industry alone contributes 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. It takes 2,700 liters of water to make just one cotton t-shirt, enough for one person to drink for 2.5 years. And only 1% of all clothing is recycled into new garments. The rest ends up dumped, incinerated, or shipped out of sight. I've spent countless hours at the bins watching thousands of discarded items rotate through the warehouses, which are typically open every single day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Shoppers dig through the bins, grabbing what they can before time runs out. Then, like an army of soldiers marching on schedule, the bins are removed and replaced every 30 minutes without fail. One wave out, the next wave in. The system is mechanical, relentless, and indifferent to what's left behind. Grandma's china is heard shattering in the distance as a worker stacks up a row of barely browsed bins, dumping a loud avalanche of beautiful glass, ceramic, and porcelain pieces into a large trash can nearby. Suddenly, a worker shouts for me to step aside. She's ready to haul away the very bin I'm still digging through. Just seconds later, her coworker rolls in behind her, pushing a fresh 200-pound batch of clothing down the aisle like clockwork. The turnover is relentless. Toward the back of the building, I spot a few brand new looking Montessori toys tucked inside a homewares bin, perfect for my daughter. I grab 4 of them, each worth around $50 at retail, but all discarded and sent here to quietly meet their death. A little boy's puffer jacket catches my eye. seemingly in perfect condition, probably only worn a few times by its previous pint-sized owner. It sits near the top of the bin, quiet, forgotten, like it's waiting for someone to notice. As I reach for it, I catch the eye of a worker passing through. I hold the jacket up and ask, "Do you see how all of this just goes to waste?" He pauses. There's a heaviness in his expression, a kind of quiet sadness that tells me he carries this truth on each work shift. He looks at me, then down at the jacket, and says gently, "Someone's going cold tonight." This isn't just something I read in an article or saw in a documentary. I've witnessed the underbelly of overconsumption with my own eyes. The bins reveal a truth that most people never see. It's the back end of our buying habits, the part that no one posts about, no influencer wants to show. It's the graveyard of our excess. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. So, how did we get here? Influencer culture, social media, the algorithm that targets you and seems to listen in on your thoughts or conversations about that next purchase. We are being marketed to at every turn. We're watching 30-second TikToks that tell us what to buy so that we can be that girl or look like that guy or have that lifestyle. Their message is loud and clear. You need this, you need more, and you need it now. Shein hauls, Temu unboxings, TikTok specials, they might just be causing us to buy out of boredom and fill our anxiety cup a little more with each view. They make us feel like we're behind, like we're missing out, like we're not enough without that thing. It's that old keeping up with the Joneses mentality. In my previous career as a professional home organizer, I realized that our outer spaces often reflect our inner state. Over those 10 years, I truly saw the dark side of overconsumption. Instead of just decluttering as a temporary fix for my clients, I helped them realize that buying wouldn't fix their home, their happiness, or their bank account. Our constant drive to buy more, do more, and keep up with the latest trends leaves us in a perpetual state of stress and burnout. Our nervous systems are overloaded with our need to make impulse purchases and fill our homes with stuff. We feel the tension in our bodies. We struggle to relax. It's all too common. We've been conditioned to accumulate, but at what cost? Those 10 pairs of stretchy leggings you love, shedding microplastics every time you wash them. That dollar store find that you just had to have, it might cost someone their dignity, safety, or childhood. So what now? We stop. We pause before the purchase and we start de-influencing in a world of influencers. De-influencing is a radical act in a world obsessed with more. It's saying, I actually don't need that to be happy. I don't need to buy in order to belong. And I don't need to consume to be complete. It could start with shopping secondhand, committing to a no spend challenge, or donating mindfully to organizations who don't trash your stuff. De-influencing is how we reclaim our peace, our power, and our planet. This idea of enoughness, of resistance through reduction, of conscious consumption, this idea only works if we do it together, because the damage of overconsumption has been a collective effort. So the healing must be a collective effort as well. When we tell the truth about how our stuff is made, when we connect through shared values instead of shared shopping carts, when we simply choose not to buy, we can shift culture. When we make space in our homes and in our minds by consuming less, we don't just create room for clarity, we create room for true human connection in a digitally powered world. And when we embrace the idea of enough, we can start to take small actions to protect the only home that we all share. And that is an idea worth spreading.